Hey everyone, and welcome back to today's Revision Explainer. We've got some absolutely critical material to cover today. We're going to systematically review the most crucial concepts you need to know before buying a folding treadmill for a small apartment, and we're looking specifically at the updated 2026 data. So let's navigate this market together, step by step, to make sure you don't end up making a really expensive mistake. Okay, let's dive right in with this foundational quote straight from our source material. It reads, "If you buy the wrong folding treadmill for your small apartment, you'll end up with a $600 clothes rack that you can't even fit in your closet." You know, the primary pain point we're studying today is intense space constraints. Imagine your typical 400 square foot studio apartment. I mean, it is tight. Every single square inch matters. And a really common mistake learners make when approaching this topic is vastly underestimating exactly how much room a supposedly compact machine actually takes up in real life. We're here today to make sure you avoid buying a very heavy, very annoying clothes rack. All right, here is our syllabus for today's revision class. We'll be hitting 5 main areas: avoiding the treadmill trap, essential selection criteria, top picks by persona, critical buyer warnings, and finally, the final verdict. This agenda is really designed to take you from understanding the hidden traps of compact equipment all the way to making a smart, final purchasing decision. Let's jump right into Section 1, Avoiding the Treadmill Trap. So, the fundamental problem buyers face time and time again is confusing a massive $2,000 club treadmill with a genuine apartment-friendly model. If you look closely at how the folding treadmill scales next to a person in a room, you'll see what I mean. You simply cannot expect a $300 folding machine to feel or perform like a massive gym unit. Even folded up, it's still a fairly bulky piece of machinery. So, as a really quick recap of Section 1 for your revision notes, just remember that an apartment treadmill only works if it actually fits. And I mean fully folded up in your specific living space. Honestly, if it doesn't fit in your closet or tuck into your corner, it is totally useless to you. Moving right along to our next section. Section 2, Essential Selection Criteria. Mastering these 4 pillars is absolutely crucial so you don't get tricked by flashy marketing. First up, folded dimensions. As we literally just talked about, this is paramount. Second is motor power. For example, you absolutely need a motor over 2 horsepower if your goal is to actually run. Anything less than that is just going to struggle under your weight. Third, noise levels. Look, your downstairs neighbors will absolutely hate you if the machine sounds like an active construction site. And fourth, warranty terms. A super common buyer mistake here is completely ignoring the fine print on warranties, especially regarding those weak folding hinges. The hinge is almost always the very first thing that breaks. So to recap Section 2 real quick, always check your folded dimensions, ensure adequate motor power, evaluate the operating sound levels, and read the fine print on that hinge warranty before you even think about evaluating a machine. All right, let's move into Section 3, Top Treadmills by Persona. In this section, we're going to categorize specific models based on exact user profiles and needs, because there really is no one-size-fits-all solution here. Notice the stark visual contrast we have going on. On one side, we've got a traditional budget folding style designed for beginners, and on the other, an ultra-flat under-desk walking pad style. This perfectly highlights the core space versus performance trade-off you just have to accept. The smaller and flatter the machine gets to save space, well, the less running performance and stability you can expect to get out of it. First, let's properly define the WalkingPad A1 Pro or similar ultra-flat models. For remote workers, this thing is the ultimate space saver. It folds down to just a few inches thick. You can easily slide it right under a bed or stand it upright to hide in a closet. It is absolutely perfect if you just want to walk at, say, 1 to 3 miles per hour during your video meetings. But, and this is a big but, the common mistake learners make here is trying to use it like a traditional treadmill. If you try to jog on this, you might legitimately roll an ankle or cause a serious injury because the handrails are minimal or, in some cases, completely absent. So it's a perfect walking pad, but a genuinely terrible running treadmill. Next up, let's look at these 2 excellent beginner options. For example, the Sunny Health and Fitness model is a fantastic choice if you are on a pretty strict budget under $600. It's actually one of the few at that affordable price point that gives you a vertical fold and a soft drop system. Then you've got the ProForm City L6, which is ideal for those who really need guided motivation and a coach in their ear rather than just staring at buttons. But you definitely need to be aware of their limitations. The common mistake here is expecting high speeds. Both of these budget-friendly motors are going to struggle significantly if you try to push them anywhere above 6 or 7 miles per hour. Let's define the Horizon T101 now. This is honestly the absolute sweet spot for budget-conscious runners. It gives you a nice wide 20-inch belt and enough motor power for light running, all without breaking that $1,000 mark. But you do need to be aware of a pretty common stability issue. After repeated use, the folding latch on this value pick can start to feel a bit loose. It's a really critical detail to keep an eye on, especially if you are manually folding and unfolding it every single day in your apartment. Now, for our tech lovers out there, we cover the premium option, the Echelon Stride. The standout feature here is definitely the one-touch automatic folding mechanism. It is incredibly convenient and whisper quiet. You don't have to do any of the heavy lifting yourself. However, there's a bit of a trap here too. A common mistake is buying this just for the convenience factor, but completely ignoring the potential for high repair costs down the road. If that specialized auto-fold motor breaks, well, fixing it is going to be incredibly expensive. And that brings us to the best overall pick. We really need to focus heavily on the NordicTrack EXP 7i or similar models in the EXP series. Why is this the winner? Well, because it expertly balances a spacious 20 by 55-inch running deck and a powerful 2.6 continuous horsepower motor with a folding frame that is actually apartment-friendly. It hits that perfect middle ground between real performance and reasonable space constraints. That makes it the most confident buy on the market right now for the average small apartment owner. Let's just pause here for a second. Definitely feel free to screenshot this summary matrix for your revision notes. To break it down quickly, the WalkingPad A1 is best for remote workers, and its main pro is that tiny footprint. The Sunny SFT 7603 is best for budget beginners, winning out on price. The ProForm City L6 is for guided beginners, widely praised for being intuitive. The Horizon T101 really suits value runners, offering that 20-inch belt. The Echelon Stride is for premium tech lovers, featuring an auto-fold system. And finally, the NordicTrack EXP 7i is the best overall, providing excellent running power. So to recap Section 3, you always want to match your specific fitness habit directly to the treadmill's primary strength. Okay, let's dive right into Section 4, critical buyer warnings. We're looking closely at those hidden traps you need to avoid. The absolutely crucial point here is this specific number, 7.5. So why does this matter? Well, if you are a 6-foot-tall student and your treadmill deck is 6 inches off the ground, you need a bare minimum of 7.5-foot ceilings in your apartment to use the incline feature safely. If you don't calculate this in advance, you are literally going to be hitting your head against the ceiling every single time you try to run up a digital hill. Let's walk through the rest of these critical warnings because they trip people up all the time. A massive, common mistake is forgetting that transport wheels add hidden dimensions. A brand might list a really compact folded size online, but the wheels or handles add extra inches that physically prevent it from sliding into your closet. Also, be super wary of weight limits. Budget models often feel highly unstable as you approach that 220-pound mark. And remember, warranties frequently exclude those fragile folding hinges after just the first year. Also, watch out for hidden upstairs delivery costs. I mean, these machines weigh up to 150 pounds, so getting it up to a walk-up apartment without an elevator isn't going to be cheap. And finally, always verify the exact model version and year differences before clicking buy because brands will silently change parts on you. To quickly recap Section 4, you must always calculate your total physical clearance and double-check for any hidden delivery fees before making a purchase. Now, let's move on to our final section, Section 5, the final verdict. It's time to pull this all together, summarize our findings from today's source material, and prepare to test your knowledge. This ultimate decision matrix breaks it down perfectly. Just look at who should buy versus who should avoid. You should absolutely buy a compact model, like that NordicTrack, if you are a remote worker, live in an area with bad weather half the year, and just need some daily jogging with enough closet space to store it. But actually, you must skip it entirely and just opt for a full gym machine if you are a serious marathon runner needing to sprint at 12 miles per hour, or if you live in a top floor walk-up without an elevator. Do not expect a compact, folding frame to handle heavy marathon training or to somehow satisfy extremely strict apartment noise limits. To conclude today's revision explainer, I want you to pause and really test yourself on these 5 quick revision questions. Number 1, what is the minimum ceiling height needed if you are 6 feet tall? Number 2, which part of a folding treadmill typically breaks first? Number 3, what speed does a walking pad usually max out at? Number 4, why should you avoid buying these for a walk-up apartment? And question 5, which leaves you with our ultimate provocative thought for today. Does your actual, honest weekly routine truly justify spending hundreds of dollars on a machine, or will it just become a very expensive clothes rack in a month? Think carefully on that before you check out. Thanks so much for joining me.